John King for this Brawl post-fight at Cage Warriors 84 alongside the victorious Matt Inman. Tonight was a real mature performance. You had the game plan, it was clear that you really stuck to it, and that was the clinch, kind of getting tight and cutting him with the elbows, hitting with the knees. Was that the game plan?
Yeah, there was a little bit more to it than that. I knew Brad's a really good kind of combination puncher. He works well in the pocket, he throws good low kicks, so I knew he'd square up a little bit on the outside. I wanted to jab and front kick him. I'd done a lot of work on that stepping knee, and it was a stepping knee going into the clinch that I hurt him with early, and then once inside the clinch, it was just a case of knee the body, hurt him there, and then go upstairs with the elbows, rinse and repeat for the round. Thai boxing 101. Yeah. Back to the old school.
Yeah, of course. That first round was very dominant. Some scored at 10-8, some 10-7. Did you think you were going to finish it at points in that round?
Yeah, I did. Yeah, I really I thought I had him going in the first round, especially the way he was breathing with each time I hit the knee of the body. And all credit to him, he's tough as they come. You know, there was some bad cuts on his eyes, and there was no quitting him whatsoever, and he was still coming strong in the last round. So I got every bit of respect for Brad there.
Yeah. You know, it seems that you kind of start slow, and then as the fight goes on, you get better and better and better. It was the case in this one. You didn't start too slow. I mean, 30 seconds into the first round, you were kind of in control. But is that something you would like to work on, kind of getting right in there, not starting so slow?
Yeah, it's something I've worked on for a long time. I think every performance is a little bit different, because I've come out and I've stopped guys early before, and then it's just some I don't know if it's a good way to work it really. There's always that was my 29th professional fight. I'm probably pushing. I'm over 50 fights if you count boxing, Thai boxing, and everything else now. But it's something you never feel 100% comfortable doing. You know, the adrenaline and the nerves and all that all comes to fruition when you step into the cage. So the reason we train so hard is because you're never going to fight like you train. You're always going to fight at 70-80% at best. So you've got to be ready for that, man. And it's something I'll keep working. But I don't know.
Obviously, so I noticed you had Abdul Chowdhury, you had Chris Fields, and you had Sal Rogers in your corner. Yeah. There's a little bit of a mix-up with Chris Fields, because he's normally, he's associated with SBG obviously, but normally SBGL. Is that a new thing, or is that regular?
No, Fields is a good friend of mine. We've trained together. We actually did a full training camp for Cathal Pendred out in Mexico City a few years ago, and he was over here with one of his guys, and I had a spare space in the corner. And as always, he's a good friend of mine. He's a former Cage Warriors champion. I really like the guy, so I just asked him to jump in there, and I'm buzzing he did.
Yeah. For this fight, your last fight was for the title, and we had a lot of momentum going into that, come off the win over Shea, and it really, in that fight, we not only saw you lose, but we really didn't see you get going, and it seemed like you had a lot to, this fight had a lot riding on it, because if you wouldn't have won, then there would have been questions about retirement and things like that, as fans do. What's next? Are you looking for the title? Are you looking for the UFC? Anything in mind?
Yeah, I mean, well, can I address that one to start with? That kind of 2 losses in a row. It's time to hang it up. But the thing is, it really, the difference between me and Amasu in that fight was one shot that landed. Yeah. If that shot hadn't landed, who knows? It might have gone a different way. It might have gone 5 rounds. He might have knocked me out in another 10 seconds. You never know. And then if I'd gone out tonight and I'd got caught off Brad, would that necessarily mean I was a shot fighter? Would it mean I was the end? This is a game we play. I say it all the time. This ain't boxing. We're not building up records to 20-0 against journeyman. We're fighting live opponents, dangerous guys every single time out, and that's how we improve. That's why I love the sport so much. It's every time you get in there, you can never go into a fight confident that you're going to win. In terms of what's next, to be honest, man, I don't care. I know there's a bit of I love fighting for Cage Warriors. I know that there's very little chance of a UFC in the near future, the immediate future. There's got to be a bunch of guys in front of me in that queue now. There's a bunch of guys in front of me in the title picture, so I just want to make fun fights, good fights for people to watch, fights where I can keep growing, keep improving, and whoever that is, man, I don't care. I'm not going to call anyone out or anything, whatever.
Yeah. You really put an emphasis on after this fight. You're just doing it for fun. Well,
it's more than fun. It's like I say I enjoy it, but I don't take it fun. I take it very seriously. It's an enjoyable thing, but it's a hard thing, and it's everything else as well. But I think, honestly, this is one of the greatest ways to learn about yourself, I think.
Yeah, of course. Let's say you did get a call up on short notice to fight for the title or to fight for the UFC. Is that something you do just because although you're taking it very seriously, it's just something that you want to grow and evolve in?
Yeah, of course, man. I'd love to win the title. it remains a goal of mine. Fighting in the UFC remains a goal of mine. So I get that call for whatever reason. However, I don't know how many people. It'd have to be like. I'm trying to work out whether there's more chance of me getting a call up for the UFC now or me getting a call up as like the fucking king or something. Like how many people have to drop out before each one happens, and I think it's close.
I think you're being a little bit harsh there, but I'll let you have it. Overall, are you happy with that performance? As I said, you stuck to a game plan very well. Are you satisfied?
Yeah, I'll go back and watch the film. I know it's difficult to think back straight away over 15 minutes of fighting. I know there was things I wasn't happy with and things that didn't go to plan. So I'll watch the film, but overall it was a good performance. Everyone who's spoken to me said they enjoyed the fight. So on the surface of that, I'm happy with that.
Yeah. Obviously, you said in earlier, so you felt a little bit tired in the third round, which is unlike you. You've also got a few nicks on your face, which is like you. Yeah. Do you think it was something that you pushed yourself a little bit too hard in the fight, or?
Yeah, I think I felt I had the finish in the first round, so I pushed harder than I would have done otherwise. I could, like every knee I hit him with, I could hear the way he was breathing, and I felt he was on the way out, so I stepped on the gas, and then you can be the fittest guy in the world, but if you blow yourself into the red like that, then you're going to pay at some point. If the guy's there still in front of you, you're going to pay for that later on. But then I think you got to hang in there because these things come in waves as well. You'll feel tired for a little bit, and then you'll get your second wind, your third wind, or whatever, which is kind of how the fight went. And I think part of being experienced is learning how to deal with those kind of ebbs and flows of energy. You know you're going to be tired, but you know it ain't over because you know you're going to get your eighth wind or whatever it is, which is just coming around the corner.
Yeah, obviously comes with experience. After that fight, it was clear to pretty much everybody that you'd won. I'm sure you knew that too, but did you expect it to be on the scorecards to be so one-sided?
I was surprised when I heard some of the scorecards. I suppose there's, in my mind now, I think it's not out of the question. There's a couple of 10-8 rounds, maybe even the third round could have been a 10-8 because I knew I was hurting him towards the end of the round once I got on top. The new scoring criteria, who knows, maybe what was it, three 10-8s maybe, possibly, or 10. I felt I had a shutout. I didn't know by how far, but I'm happy with those scores. That's as I always try and push for a finish, but if I can't get the finish, that's about as close to a finish as as I can be happy with.
Yeah. Where's this put you now? Obviously, you've always been a big name on this scene. Is there any dates you want to get back in there? Any opponents in mind?
Yeah, I fancy the Echo. Time works for me. It's close. It'd be good to fight near Manchester, so I could get a bit more of a support because it's hard to get people to come down to London on a Friday night to support you. It'd be good to do that, and that timescale works for me. So Graham, Ian, Liverpool Echo would be fantastic. As to who, I don't care. Anyone, throw from in with anyone.
I'd love to see Matt Inman on that card. Before we go, anyone to give a shout out to?
Just shout out to all my training partners, all my sponsors, fantastic in helping me. Saul Rogers coming down, giving up his weekend to corner me, and thanks to you guys for showing interest and supporting the sport at grassroots level, I guess.
Thank you, congratulations. Thank you very much.
Thanks, bro.